Welcome to this very quick video to show off the gameplay for Hexblast Ignite on my Trickster. And it's day one of the league. I'm not sure if there are any other big streamers who are playing this build. I've seen some who are playing Hexblast, but I haven't seen many that are playing the Ignite version. So just in case people wanted to get a sense of what the gameplay is like at very low levels, well, here it is. This is literally the second map I've played with this character. I'm playing on a 4-link, so the gear is pretty poor, but it's still just fine to kill stuff with. And part of this, in addition to showing off just some gameplay, is to talk a little bit about the Doomsday keystone, because I think going in, the description of that is kind of vague. It's hard to tell exactly how it was going to play just from reading what we got ahead of time, so I thought I would show that off a little bit because really how well this build plays comes down a lot to how easy it is to use Doomsday. So what it does is after it puts down a marker on the ground, you can kind of see it there, then after a second it'll do a pulse and everything inside of it will get the maximum amount of doom applied to it, which can then be detonated for big time damage and a hefty ignite with Hexblast. But the interesting thing is you don't actually have to use Doomsday in its fully charged form all the time. You can just pop things with Hexblast, and I've got a 100% chance to ignite, so that's enough to kill a lot of stuff. And then Ignite Prolift still gives it a little bit of range. There's no explosion to it, but stuff still dies pretty easily. And that is definitely a convenient feature because you don't have to stand around and wait for the Hexblast to go off. The interesting thing, though, is there's actually another option too, which is you can put down a Hexblast, or you can put down a Curse with Doomsday, like that, and then immediately cast your Hexblast, and it will actually it'll work, which is and by work I mean it'll give you an explosion for some extra range. And I think what happens when you do that is it will explode the curse, or the, I guess they're hexes now, not curses. It'll explode the hex off of the guys so you get extra range, and it's a way to basically get a full screen clear, but you don't have to wait around for the full second. So here's waiting for the full second. You can kind of see it pulse, but that does, I mean, if these were faster enemies, it might be kind of awkward. Instead, you can just put down the Hexblast and then pop them right away. And getting a little bit of FPS drop there. My poor little computer is chugging along. But anyway, basically, the Doomsday passive works a lot better than I thought it would. I was kind of expecting it would be one or the other. Either you cast it with no doom like that, and it's just a single target with a very tiny AoE from the Ignite Prolift, or I was expecting that you'd have to wait the full second. But the fact that there's that option in between is actually really great for clear speed. And this is actually, I mean, I'm on a 4-link, I'm level 68. This is mildly challenging content for just because my character is not very well geared yet. But when I was just going through the campaign, having that in-between option was actually really, really handy. It makes, I expect it will eventually make clearing a lot simpler as I go forward. And this is just, I guess, a little show off of the single target of this skill for what it's worth looking at a rare tier 1 map. But yeah, it's fine. I would call the single target a little bit better than Essence Drain on a similar level. It feels better to me to play than Essence Drain. It has a little bit of that same 1-2 punch effect, but at the very least you never have to worry about your Essence Drain projectile missing. I think it's also a bit easier to scale. Anyway, that's about all that I wanted to show off for this. I'll probably do another update after I've actually built the character up a little bit, but I'm pleasantly surprised by how easy this is to play so far, and even with pretty crappy gear, it's been treating me pretty well. So, thanks for watching, and maybe I'll see you in the next video.